Welcome on out to Kenai, Alaska here at Coral Seymour Memorial Park. Will Bass first pitch swing, and that's chopped down towards second. They'll flip it over to first just in time to sit down Bass for out number one.
Now batting for the Chinooks, left fielder, number 5, Mason.
Thank you for tuning in today. Lance Morris here with you from Kenai, Alaska. Will Bass just grounded out for out number one here in the top of the first inning between the Chinooks and the Oilers. Now Mason Mallard, followed by him, will be Hunter Vansaw. First pitch to Mason Mallard. In there, called strike one. Mallard got out of the little slump he was in with an RBI double at the end of yesterday's Game 2 of the doubleheader. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Falls behind 0-2. Starting pitcher on the mound for the Oilers, number 13, Cody Wood. We saw him in relief back on the 1st of July. He was the one who gave up the home run to Ethan Whisker and the hit to Aaron Shackelford. The 0-2 misses outside, ball one. Mallard getting to start in left field today. And now Mallard will call for time. Wanted to count to Mason Mallard, the left fielder that will be going to Louisiana Tech in the fall. The 1-2. Fouls that one back, stays alive at 1-2. Defensively for the Oilers, starting in the outfield, Brody Wofford in left, Darius Hill in center, Ryan Smith in right field, Alex Seifert at third, Trey Dawson at shortstop, Jeffrey Chopron over at second. Defensive swing from Mallard will be fair down the right field line. He'll round first, head for second, and he'll be into second base standing up. Second straight double from Mason Mallard. This will come with one down here in the top of the first.
Now batting for the Chinooks, right fielder, number 22, Hunter Vansaw.
Hunter Vansaw coming up to the plate with one down at the top of the first. He has a runner on second in Mason Mallard. First pitch to Hunter Vansaw. That'll miss for ball one. Vansaw had a good game 2 yesterday. Had himself an RBI double as well as a grand slam home run for his first home run of the summer. Here's the 1-0. That one's hit out towards left field. That'll drop down for a base hit. They'll hold Mallard at third, but the third of the plate will allow Vansaw to advance to second. So that'll put runners second and third, one down. Brings up Tim Millard.
Third baseman, number 24, Tim Millard.
Tim Millard coming up to the plate, one down, top of the first. Runners on second and third. First one to Millard. Outside, ball one. Millard still looking for his first hit this series. His last hit dates back to Tuesday against the Bucks. The 1-0. And that one's scorched out to left field. Wofford going back. He'll pull that one in just shy of the wall. That'll allow the runners each to advance a base. So sacrifice fly from Tim Millard will bring in the first run of the game for the Chinooks. They'll take the 1-0 lead.
Now batting for the Chinooks, first baseman, Number 25, Ethan Whisker.
Ethan Whisker now comes up to the plate. 2 down top of the first. Chinooks up 1-0 after the sac fly from Tim Millard. Here's the first pitch to Whisker. And they're called strike one. Whisker had a single near the end of yesterday's game. A 1. This is inside. Vansoff faked a steal there from third. Here's the 1-1. Hit on the ground towards short. Trey Dawson will field it. Okay, that one over to Sung at first in time for out number 3. So I'll do it for the top of the first here in Kenai, but the Chinooks strike first. They'll take a 1-0 lead over the Oilers. Oilers half of the first here in just a moment. Welcome back on out to Coral Seymour Memorial Park here in Kenai, Alaska, starting in the bottom of the first inning between the Chinooks and the Oilers. First pitch to Darius Hill in there, called strike one. After Hill, it'll be Trey Dawson and Brody Wofford coming up for the Oilers. That one from Hill, lined down the right field line. That'll get off of the wall. Hill's going to round first head for a second. And he'll be in the second base standing up with the double. Leadoff double from Darius Hill.
First bingo number tonight is N45.
That's only the second double that Brody Harris has given up all summer long. So that's a big hit from the Oilers to start off this bottom of the first. Dawson up coming up to the plate, nobody down, bottom of the first. On the hill for your Chinooks, like I mentioned, Brody Harris getting his 5th start of the summer, has a 2-1 record. First one to Dawson. Down and in, ball 1. Now Harris and Hill having a quick chat. Probably mixing up the signs with a guy on second. Defensively for the Chinooks, out in the outfield, a fairly typical lineup. Mason Mallard in left, Greg Populus in center, Hunter Vansaw in right field, Tim Millard and Aaron Shackelford on the left side of the infield. The 1-0 to Dawson. In there called strike one. Right side of the infield, Will Bassett second, Ethan Whisker at first, Ben Hill doing the catching today. 1-1 count to Trey Dawson. Here's the 1-1. This is down and in ball two. Harris also on the summer, 15 strikeouts to 11 walks, a minuscule .75 ERA. The 2-1. Hit softly, that'll go back foul. 2-2 count to Dawson. Dawson, the shortstop from Louisiana State. 1 home run in summer. Here's the 2-2. And they will call Harris. Didn't quite come to his set. So Hill now on third after the balk. Count remains 2-2 to Trey Dawson. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Dawson goes down on strikes. That's the 16th strikeout this summer for Brody Harris.
Now batting for Peninsula Oilers, left fielder, number 12, Brody Wofford.
Brody Wofford coming up to the plate for the Oilers, one down, bottom of the first. Oilers trailing 6-1-0, but they have a runner at third and Darius Hill. First one to Wofford. In there called strike one. Here's the 0-1. That one's hit past the diving Ethan Whisker. That'll get into right field for a base hit. So that'll be an RBI single from Wofford. That'll tie this ball game up at 1 apiece here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting for Peninsula Oilers, first baseman, number 29, Wang Shisheng.
Wang Shisheng coming up to the plate for the Oilers. One down, bottom of the first, 1-1 your score. First one hand will be up and away, ball one. Here's the 1-0. That one's hit out in the left field, right to the glove of Mason Mallard. That'll be an out. They'll try and double up Wofford, but he'll be back in time over at first. Wofford off the bat must have thought that one was a single from Shisheng, but that lands right in the glove of Mason Mallard for out number 2.
Second baseman, number 6, Jeffrey Chopra.
Jeffrey Chaperon coming up to the plate. 2 down, bottom of the first. 1-1 your score between the Chinooks and the Oilers here in Kenai. First one to Chaperon. Upstairs, ball one. Chaperon was the man who hit the go-ahead home run earlier on in this series. The 1-0. Up high again, ball two. Chaperon, the Oilers' second baseman, plays at Southeastern Illinois. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss from Chaperon, makes it 2-1. And the go-ahead home run from Chaperon a couple days ago was not only his first home run of the summer, but his first RBIs of the summer. The 2-1. Another swing and a miss from Chaperon. 2 balls, 2 strikes, your count. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Chaperon will go down on strikes. And that'll do it here for the bottom of the first inning. So the Oilers are able to tack on a run of their own here in the bottom of the first. And after 1-1 your score between your Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers. And we're back here to start the top of the second inning between your Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers. 1-1 your score after 1 inning of play. It'll be Aaron Shackelford to lead things off for the Chinooks. First pitch to him outside, ball 1. After Shackelford, it'll be Zach Sanford, the DH, and Ben Hill, the catcher. Here's the 1-0. That'll miss low for ball 2. The Masters College. Here's the 2-0. That one's hit on the ground towards Chaperon at second. He'll get that over to Shisung at first in time for out number 1.
Now batting for the Chinooks, designated hitter, number 11, Zach Sanford.
Zach Sanford now making his way up to the plate. Comes up with 1 down, top of the second. First one to Sanford. Holds up, but that's in there, called strike 1. Sanford plays his ball at Glenville State College in Glenville, West Virginia. Here's the 0-1. That one's hit out towards left field. That'll be caught in shallow short position for Trey Dawson for out number 2.
Catcher, number 30, Ben Hill.
2 down, top of the second, 1-1 your score between the Chinooks and the Oilers. It'll be Ben Hill coming up to the plate. First one to Hill. That'll miss for ball 1. Hill caught game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday between the Chinooks and the Oilers. Here's the 1-0. And this is low for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Ben Hill. Hill, the junior catcher from Olivet Nazarene near Chicago, Illinois. The 2-0. Hits softly towards third. Alex Seifert will field it. But she sung unable to reel that one in at first. So Ben Hill will be safe over there at first with 2 down here in the top of the second.
Now batting for the Chinooks, center fielder, number 10, Greg Populison.
So Ben Hill's safe on the air. That'll bring Greg Populison up to the plate.
E3.
We'll officially rule that one an error on Wang Shi-sung over at first. First pitch to Greg Populison. Inside ball 1. Population got in on the hit parade in the 5th inning in yesterday's game, had himself a bunt hit single. The 1-0's hit towards Trey Dawson at short. And Population beats it out over at first. That'll be an infield single as Population shows off his wheels. So the Chinooks continue to extend this inning. Hill reaches on the air. Population beats out a single. Now we go back to the top of the order. Will Bass coming up to the plate with 2 down here in the top of the second. Chinooks and the Oilers knotted up at 1. First one to Will Bass. In there, called strike 1 to Bass. Will grounded out to second base his first time up today. Bass second in average on the Chinooks. Here's the 0-1. Up high, ball 1. Evens it back up at 1 apiece to Bass. Bass on the summer has 5 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run to go with 10 RBIs. The 1-1 misses down outside for ball 2. Bass on athletes in action. A baseball veteran. His 3rd year overall with AIA. His 2nd straight year with the Chinooks here in Alaska. The 2-1. Just barely fouled that one off. Makes it a 2-2 count to Bass. Two balls, 2 strikes to count to Will Bass. Runners on to first and second. With the 2-2. That one set on the ground towards Dawson, short. He'll flip that one over to second just in time to get out Greg Population, and that'll do it for the top of the second. The Chinooks will leave 2 on. And after 2, score remains 1-1 here after the top of the second inning. And welcome back here to the bottom of the second inning between the Chinooks and the Oilers. Ball one to Jonathan Washam. After Washam to George from Freese and Ryan Smith. The 1-0. Hit over towards Shackelford at short. He'll misplay that. That'll get by him into left field.
Now batting for your
So they'll rule that one an
Oilers,
error on Shackelford.
number 14, Jordan Freese.
Bringing Jordan Freese up to the plate.
E6.
First one to Freese. He'll pop that one out towards center field. Greg Pappas and gets under that one for out number one.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers, right fielder, number 10, Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith coming up to the plate for the Oilers. One down. Bottom of the second. 1-1 your score.
Last number was G54.
Ryan Smith came in as a pinch hitter in yesterday's game. Had himself an RBI double in that spot. First one to Smith. It's that one right side. That'll be poked out of play.
Back up ball brought to you by Dynasty Interiors.
Smith, the right fielder for the Oilers. Here's the 0-1. Swing going to miss at the pitch just outside. So Smith will fall behind 0-2 to Brody Harris. Harris on the hill plays at Spring Arbor College in Michigan. Here's the 0-2. Outside, ball one. Smith plays at Lassen Community College, also one of the pitchers here for the Oilers. The 1-2. They'll just tick that one back. Stays alive at 1-2. That hit from Smith yesterday was actually his first of the summer. He's 1 for 3 so far in his at-bats. The 1-2. Got that one in on the hands. Bass will field it. Doesn't have time to go to second. Well, under then that one to first for out number 2.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers, third baseman, number 26, Alex Seifert.
Alex Seifert coming up to the plate, 2 down, bottom of the second. Oilers have a runner at second in Jonathan Washam. Seifert getting the start at third base today for the Oilers. First one to him. In there, called strike one. Seifert plays at Jacksonville University. Here's the 0-1. Down and outside, ball one. Seifert came into yesterday's game hitting .224. Here's the 1-1. That one's fouled right back. One to the count to Alex Seifert. 2 down, bottom of the second. And Harris will step off and look back. Washam over at second. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Seifert goes down on strikes. That'll be the third strikeout today from Brody Harris. That'll do it for the bottom of the second. And the score remains a 1-1 between the Chinooks and the Oilers after 2 here in Kenai. And here we are about to start the top of the third inning between your Chugach Eagle River Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers. Mason Mallard will lead things off. After him, it'll be Hunter Vance on Tim Millard. First one to Mason, a miss low, ball 1. Mallard had a double, came around to score back in the first inning. The 1-0. That'll catch the outside corner for a called strike 1, 1-1 count to Mallard. The 1-1 lays down the bunt, but that'll hit him foul. That one just barely got him when he was in the box. If it had got him once he got into the field of play, he would have been called out. So that'll just be strike number 2 on the foul ball. One and 2 count to Mason Mallard, Chinook left fielder for today's game. Here's the 1-2. That one's poked over right side, fielded by Shisung. And Wood will get over to first to cover just in time for out number 1.
Now batting for the Chinooks, right fielder, number 22, Hunter Vansaw.
Hunter Vansaw coming up to the plate, 1 down at top of the third. 1-1 your score between the Chinooks and the Oilers. First one to Vansaw. Down and inside, ball 1. Vansaw had a single his last time up. Was eventually stranded at third. The 1-0. That's in there called strike one. Evens it back up 1-1 to Vansaw. The 1-1. That one's hit over towards first, but She Sung able to reel that one in for out number 2. Hard hit ball.
Now batting for the Chinooks.
She Sung able to
Third
grab
baseman,
that.
Number 24, Tim Millard.
So that'll be out number 2 here in the top of the third. Brings up Vansaw's former teammate at Dallas Baptist, Tim Millard. First pitch to Millard. In there called strike one. Millard didn't get that signal he was looking for his last time up, but did get himself a sac fly RBI that put the Chinooks initially up 1-0 over the Oilers. They've since tied it back up at 1. The 0-1. Just outside for ball 1. Millard came into yesterday's game hitting .263. The 1-1. That one's on the ground towards third. Seifert will field it. Gets it over to She Sung at first. In time for out number 3. Chinooks go down in order here in the top of the third. 1-1 remains your score between the Chinooks and the Oilers. And welcome back on out to Kenai, Alaska. About to start the bottom of the third inning between the Chinooks and the Oilers. First one to Darius Hill. Thought about bunting, unable to lay it down. That'll be strike one. Here's the 0-1. That one's hit out towards center field. Very populous and easily able to get under that one for out number 1 here in the bottom of the third.
Oilers, shortstop, number 24, Trey Dawson.
That'll bring Trey Dawson up to the plate.
G55.
Dawson will line that one out towards left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. So Mallard will quickly chuck that in and keep Dawson over at first.
Left fielder, number 12, Brody Wofford.
I'll bring up Brody Wofford to the plate for the Oilers. One down, bottom of the third.
G56.
First one to Wofford. In there called strike one. Wofford had an RBI single his last time up. That brought in Darius Hill to tie this ball game up at 1. That was back in inning number 1. Here's the 0-1. Wofford will foul that one left side out of play.
That ball brought to you by Charlie Pierce.
So Wofford quickly down the count 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That'll miss low for ball 1. Wofford, the product from LSU. Now Ben Hill will call time behind the plate. Here's the 1-2. Wofford thought about that one, but he'll hold up. That'll be ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes to Brody Wofford, the left fielder for the Oilers. Here's the 2-2. That one's hit in the left field. That'll be a base hit from Wofford. Wofford now 2 for 2 on the day, puts the runners at first and second with a 1 down.
Oilers, first baseman, number 29, Wang Qisheng.
Wang Qisheng up to the plate now for the Oilers. So Harris trying to work himself out of a little bit of trouble with the runners on first and second. First one to Qisheng. In there called strike 1. Qisheng flew out to left field his first time up. Here's the 0-1. In there called strike 2. Hill will throw back to second, but not in time as Dawson's able to get back safely. Qisheng down to the count 0-2. Now Hill and Harris going to have a quick chat on the mound. Still an 0-2 count on Wang Qisheng, getting a start at first base today for the Oilers. Here's the 0-2. Down and outside, ball 1. One and 2 count to Wang Qisheng from National Taiwan Sport University. Here's the 1-2. Hailing around towards first. Whisker thought about going to second. He'll change his mind. Goes to first for the sure out. So Qisheng will be out over at first, but the runners do advance. They now have runners second and third, 2 down.
L32.
Jeffrey Chopra now up to the plate for the Oilers. Runners at second and third, 2 down. Bottom of the third, 1-1 your score. First one to Chaperon. Up high for ball one. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs, Hill will check over at third. Dawson able to dive back safely.
I thought you said no. I thought you said no.
Hey, we also have somebody's cell phone that was lost.
Yeah, I thought you said no. That was my mistake. Yeah, it's N32.
Here's the 2-0. Swinging and missing that time was Chaperon.
That was my mistake. I thought you said L. I don't play much bingo.
The 2-1. That one's popped up. That'll get out of play. Two and two count to Chaperon. Two down runners at second and third. Dawson at third. Wofford on second. Two and two count. Here's the 2-2. Inside ball three. Makes a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. First full count we've seen today. Here's the 3-2. And the ground towards third. That'll go foul. Three balls, 2 strikes to count to Jeffrey Chopron from Southeastern Illinois. Oilers have runners at second and third. The 3-2. Got him looking called. Strike three. Fourth strikeout today for Harrison. That'll do it for the bottom of the third. And after three, your score remains 1-1 between your Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers. Ethan Whisker up to the plate now for your Chinooks to start off the top of the fourth. 1-1 remains the score. After Whisker, it'll be Aaron Shackford and Zach Sanford due up. First one to Whisker. Inside part of the plate, called strike one. Cody Wood on the hill for his fourth inning of work as the starter today for the Oilers. Here's the 0-1. That one's hit on the ground back towards Dawson at short, but he'll fumble with it, and Whisker will be safe over there at first. And they'll rule that one an error on Dawson.
Number 8, Aaron Shackelford.
Aaron Shackford now coming up to the plate. One on, nobody down the top of the fourth. First one to Shackelford. That'll catch that outside corner. Called strike one. Here's the 0-1. That's it on the ground right back up the middle. Past the diving Jeffrey Chapron. That'll be a single for Aaron Shackelford. That'll put runners at second and third. Nobody down for Zach Sanford.
Number 11, Zach Sanford.
Now this will cause a meeting on the mound for the Oilers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lost phone in the announcer's booth. Once again, if you have a lost phone, please come to the announcer's booth to reclaim your possession.
So we thank you for making us a part of your day. Ending the 5-game series here today between the Oilers. Then after a couple days, we'll play them in a doubleheader back in Shugiak on Wednesday. In the top of the fourth inning right now, Ethan Whisker at second base, Aaron Shackelford at first, Zach Sanford up to the plate. So Zach Sanford up to the plate, nobody down. Top of the fourth inning here in Kenai. Infielders in. Sanford shows bunt. That'll be in there called strike one. On one count to Zach Sanford. Yo, one. He'll pull that bunt back. Tries to slap at it. That'll go foul for strike two. A 1-2 count to Zach Sanford. Shisung still playing shallow over there at first. He's right on the edge of the grass. Now Sanford will call for time, steps out of the box. Here's the 0-2. That one's hit nicely out towards right field. Smith going back. He'll pull that one in. So that'll be out number one. That does allow Whisker to advance to third.
Now back to the Chinooks. Catcher, number 30, Ben Hill.
So that'll bring Ben Hill up to the plate, one down. Runners at the corners. Ben Hill, his first time up, reached on an error over at first by Shi Sung. First one to Hill. Hill laid down the bunt down the first base line. Awkward throw. Hill will be safe at first. Whisker's going to come in to score. Hill advances to second. Shackelford to third. So that'll be an error that allows Whisker to score, puts the Chinooks up by a 2-1 score over the Oilers.
Center fielder, number 10, Greg Populison.
It's Greg Populison coming up to the plate. Runners on second and third. It's Greg Populison up to the plate for the Chinooks. Aaron Shackelford at third with Ben Hill at second. First one to Populison. That one's hit nicely out towards left field, but that'll go foul.
That ball brought to you by Sharon Hale.
On one count to Populison. Here's the 0-1. That one's popped straight up in the infield. And it'll be Trey Dawson calling everybody off and getting under that one for out number 2.
Now batting for the Chinooks. Second baseman, number 6, Pass.
Top of the order we go for Will Bass. One to Bass outside ball 1. That's what he's swinging and missing at that one. They'll check over at third. He'll be back just in time. Here's the 1-1. That one's popped up left side. Seifert getting over to it. And he'll reel that one in for out number 3. That'll not be before the Chinooks add on another run. And now have a 2-1 lead as we head into the bottom of the 4th here in Kenai.
Please stand.
And welcome back here in the bottom of the fourth inning between the Chinooks and the Oilers. First pitch to Jonathan Washington will miss for ball one. Washington hits that one out towards left field. Mallard going back. He'll pull that one in for out number one.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers, catcher, number 14, Jordan Freese.
Jordan Freese now up to the plate, one down, bottom of the fourth. Chinooks on top by a 2-1 score. First one to Freese in there, called strike one. This is Freese's first start with the Oilers. He just got into the team yesterday. 0-1. Misses low for ball one. The 1-1. Down and in for ball two. Freese, the Oilers catcher from Southern Idaho. The 2-1. On the ground softly, right side. That'll go foul. The 2-2. Got him, looking called strike three.
Now batting for your
That'll be the
Peninsula
fourth.
Oilers,
That'll be actually the
right
fifth
fielder,
strikeout today
number
for
10,
Brody Harris,
Brian
giving him
Smith.
20 on the summer. That brings up Ryan Smith with two down here in the bottom of the fourth.
I-17.
That'll miss for ball one to Smith. Smith grounded out to second his first time up. The 1-0. Outside ball two. Here's a 2-0. That one's hit out towards center field. Population going back. And he'll grab that one just shy of the warning track. Had to drop down to a knee to reel it in. But nonetheless, he'll pull that one in for out number three. So the Oilers go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the fourth. Score remains 2-1 as we head into the top of the fifth. Welcome back out to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. About to start the top of the fifth inning between your Chinooks and the Oilers. 2, 3, 4 hitters do up Mason Mallard, Hunter Vansott, Tim Millard. First up is Mason Mallard. First pitch to him. That'll miss inside, ball 1. Mallard 1 for 2 today. Double in the first, grounded out in the third. The 1-0. Big swing and a miss, evens it back up at 1. Mallard 5 doubles on the summer. 1 home run and 11 RBIs. The 1-1. Swing and a miss again from Mallard to fall behind 1-2. Here comes the 1-2. I'll sit back up the middle. That'll get past a diving Trey Dawson. That'll be a base hit from Mallard. Mallard now 2 for 3 today with a single and a double.
Number 22, Hunter Vansott.
So Mallard will be on with the leadoff single here in the top of the 5th. That brings up Hunter Vansott. First one to Vansott. Down and inside. Briefly gets away from Freese. Mallard will stride into second base easily. Vansott showing bunt. Squares around for strike 1. Usually we don't see Vansott trying to lay down a bunt. So we'll see if the bunt's still on with the 1-1 count. The 1-1. Outside ball 2. Two and 1 count to Hunter Vansott. Nobody down. Top of the 5th inning. Chinooks up 2-1. The 2-1. Upstairs ball 3. 3-1. Vansott 1 for 2 today. Singled in the first. Lined out back in the third. Here's the 3-1. Outside ball 4. Vansott will draw up the walk. First given up by Cody Wood.
Number 24, Tim Millard.
That'll put runners on a first and second. Nobody down for the Chinooks. Tim Millard coming up to the plate. Tim Millard 0 for 1 on the day. Had a sac fly in the first, then grounded out in the third. First one to Millard. Inside ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1 now the count to Tim Millard. Mason Mallard, the runner on second. Hunter Vansott, the runner on first. Mallard reached on the single. Vansott reached on the walk. Here's the 1-1. That'll miss a low ball, too. Here's the 2-1. Hit hard on the ground, third base line. That'll go just foul. Here's the 2-2. Down and outside. Makes it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Millard. First full count today from Cody Wood. Here's the 3-2. That one's on the ground towards short. Dawson will flip it over to second for 1. And back over to first in time for the 6-4-3 double play.
Now batting for the Chinooks.
So Millard and Vance saw out, but
Number 25,
Mason Mallard does advance to third. So the Chinooks will have Mallard on third. 2 down. Top of the 5th brings up Ethan Whisker to the plate. First pitch to Whisker. Hit on the ground towards third. Seifert will field it. Wong off the bag, but will tag out Whisker. And that'll end this top half of the 5th. So the Chinooks will strand Mallard at third. And they have a 2-1 lead after the top half of the 5th here in Kenai. Welcome back on out to Coral Seymour Memorial Park as we about to start the bottom of the 5th inning between the Chinooks and the Oilers. First one to Seifert, he'll be out in front of for strike 1. 9-1-2 hitters do it for the Oilers. After Seifert, it'll be back to the top of the order. Darius Hill and Trey Dawson. Here's the 0-1. Down and outside, ball 1 to Seifert, makes it 1-1. Seifert struck out his first time up. The 1-1. That one's fouled back right over my head.
That foul ball brought to you by Gary Hale.
Here's the 1-2. Swinging and missing for strike 3, but that gets all the way back to the fence. And that'll allow Seifert to be safe over at first.
Your Peninsula Oilers center fielder, number 11, Darius Hill. G51.
So now Darius Hill up to the plate. First one to Hill. Tries to lay down the bunt. That'll be strike one. Here's the 0-1. Hill defensively lays down the bunt down the third base line. Millard will barehand it. Safe over at first.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers. Shortstop, number 24, Trey Dawson.
So that puts runners at first and second, nobody down for the Oilers. Trey Dawson now up to the plate.
B11.
Dawson 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a strikeout. This first one to Dawson. Shows bunt, pulls it back. That'll be ball one. So Oilers have runners at first and second, nobody down. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. Chinooks on top by a 2-1 score. Here's the 1-0. Runner on the move. That'll be a perfect hit and run play as that goes off of Bass over at second. That will allow Seifert to come in and score. That'll make it a 2-2 ball game. You're in the bottom of the fifth.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers. Left fielder, number 12, Brody Wofford.
So now a rare error from Will Bass over at second will allow another run to score.
075.
So it's a 2-2 ball game, bottom of the fifth. Runners at the corners now for the Oilers. Brody Wofford up to the plate. First pitch to Brody Wofford. Down and outside, ball one. Wofford a perfect 2 for 2 on the day with a single and a double. The 1-0. Down and outside again for ball two. Two 2-0 count to Brody Wofford, the outfielder from LSU. The 2-0. That'll miss down in the dirt. We see Dawson on the move. He'll get to second easily.
Last stolen base brought to you by Charlie's Pizza.
First stolen base of the summer for Dawson.
066.
So it's a 3-0 count to Wofford. Runners in second and third, nobody down. Here's the 3-0. Down and outside, ball four.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers. First baseman, number 29, Wang Shisheng.
First walk today from Brody Harris on the hill. We'll have a quick chat with Ben Hill.
And 39.
So the base is loaded now for Wang Shi-sung, the Oilers' first baseman. He has Darius Hill at third, Trey Dawson at second, Brody Wofford at first. First one to Shisung. Thought about it. Does not go around, and it's ball one. Shisung 0 for 2 today. A fly out and a ground out. Here's the 1-0. That one's popped up left side. Mallard going over in foul ground. That's going to go into the bullpen out of play.
That foul ball brought to you by Clifford Smith.
One and one count to Shisung. Infield is in to try and prevent that run from scoring. The 1-1. Outside ball 2. One of the rare times we've seen Harris put himself in a jam. We'll see if he can get himself out of it. The 2-1. Popped up left side. That'll again get out of play.
That foul ball brought to you by Big G Electric.
Two and two count to Shisung. The 2-2. God, I'm looking called. Strike 3. Big strikeout for Harris. That's his 7th on the day.
Second baseman, number 6, Jeffrey Chopra.
Jeffrey Chaperon coming up to the plate. One down. Here in the bottom of the 5th, bases are loaded.
30.
Chaperon 0 for 2 today with a couple strikeouts as Ben Hill wants to have a quick chat with Harris.
I said I. Come on, Don.
Looks like someone out in the Chinook bullpen getting loose. No one throwing yet, just someone getting warmed up. Jeffrey Chaperon coming up to the plate, second baseman for the Oilers. First one to him. Upstairs, ball 1. One no count to Chaperon. Now the 1-0. Down and in, ball 2. Here's the 2-0. That one's in there called strike 1. 2-1 count to Chaperon, the second baseman from southeastern Illinois. The 2-1. Shows bunt, lays it down. That'll go back foul. Two and two count to Jeffrey Chaperon. The 2-2. And on the ground softly, third base side, that'll go foul. Big spot right now for the Chinooks. 2-2 is the score. 2-2 is the count. Now Hill wanting to talk with Harris once again. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. That's another strikeout for Harris, his 8th today.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers, designated hitter, number 4, Jonathan Washoe.
That brings Jonathan Washoe up to the plate, 2 down. Bases remain loaded.
74.
First one to Washam. That's fouled back. Washam on the day 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the second. Flew out in the fourth. Here's the 0-1. That one's hit out towards center field. And Greg Populus will reel that one in for out number 3. So 1-1 will score, but other than that, Harris able to keep those bases loaded. Oilers will leave 3 on. It's now 2-2 after 5 innings here in Kenai. And welcome back, Chinooks fans. About to start the top of the 6th inning between the Chinooks and the Oilers. 2-2 your score. Cody Wood still on the hill for the Oilers, getting set for his 6th inning of work. First one to Aaron Shackelford. In there called strike 1. After Shackelford, it will be Zach Sanford and Ben Hill. Now here's the 0-1. Outside ball 1. Shackelford 1 for 2 today with a ground out and a single. Now the 1-1. Outside ball 2. Two and 1 the count to Shackelford, the sophomore from the Masters College. 2-1 will miss outside ball 3. Here comes the 3-1. That'll miss down and in ball 3. Ball 4, actually. So that'll bring Zach Sanford up as Aaron Shackelford draws the walk.
Zach Sanford.
Just the second walk given up by Cody Wood today. And there is some action going on in the Oiler bullpen. First one is Zach Sanford. Up and away, ball 1. Austin Piscotti, the guy getting loose in the Oiler bullpen. We saw Piscotti pitch a little and play the field a little bit so far this series. Sanford tries to show the bunt. That's in there for called strike 1. They'll check on Shackelford at first. He'll be back in time. One count to Zach Sanford. The 1-1. Sanford loaded up that time, but he'll hold back. But it's in there called strike 2. The 1-2. Pops that one back and out of play.
That ball brought to you by Hanson's Roofing.
Count remains 1-2 to Zach Sanford, the outfielder from Glenville State. The 1-2. Check to swing. Did not go around. 2-2 to count. The 2-2. Just outside ball 3. I'll make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Zach Sanford. He's in the DH role for today's game. We've seen him play every outfield spot so far this year at different times. Here's the 3-2. Outside, ball 4. So second straight walk drawn up by the Chinooks. Third walk today for Wood.
Now batting for the Chinooks. Catcher, number 30, Ben Hill.
That'll put runners at first and second for Ben Hill. As Jordan Freese is having a chat with Cody Wood. Ben Hill coming up to the plate has reached on errors twice today. And now we'll see an official meeting on the mound for the Oilers. We'll see if they make the change now. After we see 2 straight walks from Wood. So thank you for making us a part of your Sunday. And I know it's Sunday since it's a day game. Usually I don't know what day of the week it is. Cody Wood will remain in the game for the time being for the Oilers. Chinooks 2, Oilers 2. We're in the top of the 6th. Nobody down for Ben Hill. First one to Hill. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Hits that one right at Seifert at third. He'll go over to first for the out. With everyone charging, the infield was out of position. Luckily, Seifert was able to knock that one down.
Center fielder, number 10, Greg Populisic.
So the runners will advance. Shackelford at third, Sanford at second. Brings up Greg Populus with one down at the top of the 6th. And again, Wood wants to have a chat with Freese. It's Greg Populus and coming up to the plate. Schnook center fielder. First one to Populus. Lays down the bunt, down. That'll be fielded. They'll go to the plate for the out. Shackelford will be out at the plate. Fielder's choice on the bunt from Populus, and Shackelford is out. Sanford does advance to third. Now runners at the corners. 2 down. Oilers just saved a run from coming across. Going back to the top of the order now for Will Bass. And now Wood will step off. Runners at the corners, 2 down. 2-2 your score. We'll see Populus and fake the steal. Sanford, the runner at third. Populus at first for the Chinooks. Here's the 1-0. Outside ball 2. To know the count to Will Bass. Now Bass will call for time. Bass over 3 so far today. A couple ground outs and reached on a fielder's choice. Populus will make the move to second. He'll be in there easily. And they'll try and check on Sanford as Sanford hesitated a little bit, trying to force a throw. He does force a throw. He'll be safe. So that's the 4th steal of the summer for Populus. 2-1 count now to Bass, as that was a called strike 1. 2-1. Hit on the ground down the first baseline, just foul. And that saved 2 runs from coming across for the Oilers. So now it's a 2-2 count to Will Bass. Runners at second and third for the Chinooks. Here's the 2-2. And Bass will go around for strike 3. And that'll do it here for the top of the sixth.
Hey, parents, let those little
Chinooks will leave two
kids
stranded.
home. Tag mascot
Game
number
remains
3
tied at
away.
2-2 as we enter the bottom of the sixth. And welcome back on out to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. Let's start the bottom of the sixth inning between your Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers. First one to Jordan Freese. Will miss low ball one. 7, 8, 9 hitters do it for the Oilers after Freese. It'll be Ryan Smith and Alex Seifert. Brody Harris still on the mound for the Chinooks. The 1-0. That one's hit back up the middle. Shackelford will field it. Gets it over to Whisker first in time. Out number 1.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers, right fielder, number 10, Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith up to the plate now for the Oilers with one down, bottom of the sixth.
I-20.
Smith 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a fly out. First one to Smith. Shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's in there called strike one. Smith, the right fielder from Lassen Community College. Swinging and missing at that 0-1 pitch. He'll fall behind 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Way outside for ball one. Here comes the 1-2. Hit back up the middle. Right side this time. Bass will misfield it. So Smith will be safe at first on another error by Will Bass.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers, third baseman, number 26, Alex Seifert. .075.
Alex Seifert now up to the plate with one down. Runner at first. First one to Seifert. Up high, ball one. Seifert ordered for 2 today with a couple strikeouts, but reached base on the second strikeout due to a wild pitch. The 1-0. Swing and a miss that, leaving it back up at 1. 1-1 the count to Seifert. Here's the 1-1. Just outside, ball 2. Two on the count to the third baseman, Seifert. The 2-1. Hit right side. That'll get way out of play.
That ball brought to you by OSK OMSI.
Here's the 2-2. Down and in, ball 3. I'll make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So the number 9 hitter, Alex Seifert. Here's the 3-2. That one's hit down right between the shortstop and the third baseman. And they'll try getting him at third, unable to do so. That'll allow Seifert to advance to second.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers. Center fielder. Number
So
11,
a single from Seifert
Darius
puts runners at
Hill.
second and third with 1 down.
And 43.
One down for the Oilers as we go back to the top of the order for Darius Hill. Hill 2 for 3 today with a bunt, single, and a double. He has runners at second and third. First one to Hill. Down and outside, ball 1. Hill, the outfielder from West Virginia. The 1-0. And that one's poked into left field. That'll be a base hit. 1 run will score. They will hold the other guy up at third. But the other guy now getting caught in a rundown. Bass now looking him back, running him back again. Rundown still in effect. They're now going to send him home.
There we go.
And that'll get past Hill. Gets all the way to the backstop. So Hill gets himself in a rundown over between first and second. And that'll allow Seifert to come in and score as well.
Trey Dawson.
So add 2 runs to the Oilers total. They now lead by a score of 4-2.
The 11.
So Darius Hill now over at second, 1 down. Oilers just took a 4-2 lead. First one to Trey Dawson outside, ball 1. Dawson 1 for 3 today, had a single in the third. Here's the 1-0. Outside, ball 2. Here's the 2-0. And they're called strike 1. 2-1 to Dawson. State. The 2-1. Outside, ball 3. 3-1 now to Trey Dawson. The 3-1. Hit on the ground, third base side. They'll go foul. Full count now, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Dawson. Here's the 3-2. Hit on the ground between short and third once again. So it'll be a base hit from Dawson.
Now batting fielder,
Hill will advance to
Oilers.
third, puts runners at the
Left
corners
fielder,
for Brody
number
Wofford.
12, Brody Wofford.
And now Chris Beck going to go have a word with Brody Harris. And that'll be it. It looks like for Brody Harris.
G56.
Waiting to see the official signal to the pen. And they will. So that'll be the end of the day for Brody Harris. New pitcher on the hill for the Chinooks here in just a moment. Chinooks trailing 4-2. And sorry about that, Chinooks fans. 2-1 the count. Preston White, the new pitcher in the game for the Chinooks in relief of Brody Harris. The 2-1. Oh, it's fouled back 2-2 the count. This is Preston White's first outing in about a week. The 2-2. That one's popped up. Center field. Populous will catch that one running in for the out, and they will keep Darius Hill over at third.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers. First baseman, number 29, Wang Shishang.
For Preston White, this is his 7th appearance out of the pen. 10 2/3 innings pitched. 10 strikeouts to 2 walks, a 3.38 ERA.
10:42.
Wang Shisung up to the plate now for the Oilers. First one to him. Just outside ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Up and away ball 2. Shisung 0 for 3 today. Fly out, ground out, and a strikeout. The 2-0. That one's hit right side. Bass will field it. Underhands that one over to Ethan Whisker at first in time for the final out here in the bottom of the 6th. But that'll be not before the Oilers tack on 2 extra runs. They now have a 4-2 advantage as we head into the top of the 7th over your Chinooks. And welcome back, Chinook fans. About to start the top of the 7th inning between the Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers. Oilers on top by a 4-2 score. New pitcher on the hill for the Oilers, Austin Piscotty. Piscotty, 3.18 ERA, 1-1 record. He'll be facing the 2-3-4 hitters to start off this top of the 7th. First one to Mason Mallard. Pops that one straight up towards center field. And that'll be brought in by Darius Hill for out number 1.
Now batting for the Chinooks, right fielder, number 22, Hunter Bansaw.
Hunter Vansock coming up to the plate. One down, top of the 7th. First one to Vansaw. Outside, ball 1. Vansaw 1 for 2 on the day, had a single back in the first. The 1-0. That one's fouled out of play.
That foul ball brought to you by Ron Horvath.
One and one count to Hunter Vansaw. Here's the 1-1. Side out of play once again.
That foul ball brought to you by Coach Dan Getzel.
1-2 the count to Vansaw. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs, ball 2. Two and two the count to the right fielder, Hunter Vansaw. The 2-2. That one's hit in the right field. That'll drop down for a base hit. Vansaw now 2 for 3 on the day. The second hit will come with one down, top of the 7th inning.
24, Tim Millard.
One down, top of the 7th inning. Chinooks trail 4-2 against the Peninsula Oilers. Tim Millard up to the plate. First pitch to Millard. And they're on the outer half of the plate for a called strike 1. Millard grounded into the 6-4-3 double play his last time up. The 0-1. Inside ball 1. Millard had a sac fly RBI earlier in the game. The 1-1. And that one's out towards left field. But again, that'll be caught by Wofford, so the hitless streak for Millard continues. This will go down as out number 2 here in the top of the 7th.
Number 25, Ethan Whisker.
Ethan Whisker coming up to the plate. 2 down, top of the 7th. Chinooks trailing 4-2, but they have Hunter Vansaw over at first. First one to Whisker. That'll miss low for ball 1. Whisker 0 for 3 on the day. Couple of groundouts, but did reach on an error. Came around to score the second run of the game. The 1-0. Catches the outside corner. Called strike 1. 1-1 count to Ethan Whisker. Whisker plays his ball at Hillsdale College in Michigan. The 1-1. Misses low. They'll check on Vansaw over first. He'll slide back in safely, though. Two and one count to Whisker. The 2-1. In there called strike 2. Evens it up 2 balls, 2 strikes to Whisker. Well, the 2-2. Tough pitch to take there from Whisker. That'll be ball 3. That's a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 3-2. God, I'm looking called. Strike 3. Whisker will go down looking. That'll do it here for the top of the 7th. Chinooks continue to trail these Oilers now by a score of 4-2 as we head into stretch time here in Kenai. And welcome back on out here as we're about to start at the bottom of the 7th inning between your Chugach Grover Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers. Oilers have a 4-2 lead over the Chinooks. Jeffrey Chapron coming up to the plate for the Oilers. After him, it'll be Jonathan Washburn and Jordan Freese. First one will be inside the Chapron for ball 1. Chapron 0 for 3 today. All 3 of them being strikeouts. And Preston White and Ben Hill having a conversation on the mound. What a no count to Chopron. Second baseman from southeastern Illinois. The 1-0. Tried to hold up, but did go around for strike 1. The 1-1. Misses low for ball 2. The 2-1. Popped up right side. Ethan Whisker will go over and foul ground to bring that one in for out number 1.
Now I think for your Peninsula Oilers, designated hitter, number 4, Jonathan Washam.
Jonathan Washam now coming up to the plate with 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. First one to Washam. In there called strike 1. Washam 0 for 3 on the day. Reaching on an error in the second. Flew out his other 2 at-bats. The 0-1. That'll miss inside ball 1. Here's the 1-1. Line to right side, out of play.
brought to you by Christie Babcock State Farm.
Here's the 1-2. Upstairs ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the DH Washam. The 2-2. Hit right back up the middle. White had to make sure he got out of the way of that one. That's a base hit from Washam. So Washam will be on with 1 down. That'll bring up Jordan Freese.
Number 14, Jordan Freese.
Jordan Freese up to the plate. 1 down, bottom of the 7th. Runner on first to Jonathan Washam. First one to Freese. Up a little high, ball 1. Freese 0 for 3 today. Here's the 1-0. Line to left side. Out towards left field. Mason Mallard will haul that one in for out number 2.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers, right fielder, number 10, Ryan Smith.
Ryan Smith coming up to the plate. 2 down, bottom of the 7th. Smith up to the plate. 0 for 3 today. Fly out, ground out, reached on an error. First one to him. Catches that outside corner for a called strike 1. Oilers have a runner at first to Jonathan Washam. Here's the 0-1. That one's fouled back. Smith down in the count 0-2. He's an outfielder. Also a pitcher from Lassen Community College. Now the 0-2. Up and in, ball 1. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And we'll see Ryan Smith go down on strikes. First strikeout today for Preston White. And that'll do it here for the bottom of the 7th. Washam will get on base, but he'll be stranded after 7 innings here in Kenai. Oilers on top of your Chinooks by a 4-2 score. And we're going to start the top of the 8th inning here from Kenai, Alaska, between the Oilers and your Chinooks. First pitch to Aaron Shackelford to miss inside, ball 1. After Aaron Shackelford, it'll be Zach Sanford and Ben Hill. Here's the 1-0. That'll miss for ball 2. Shackelford 1 for 2 on the day. Singled back in the 4th, drew a walk in the 6th. Here's 2-0. That one's hit out towards center field. Darius Hill able to bring that one in for out number 1.
Now batting for the Chinooks. Designated hitter. Number 11, Zach Sanford.
Zach Sanford up to the plate now for the Chinooks with 1 down. Top of the 8th. Chinooks trailing 4-2 to the Oilers. First one to Sanford. That'll miss low, ball 1. Yesterday, a day Sanford will never forget for 2 reasons. One of them was because he shaved his head for the first time. Can't see that when he's on the field, though. The 1-0 in there called strike 1. 1-1 the count to Sanford. And the other reason Sanford will never forget yesterday was he got saved. He accepted Christ into his life for the first time. So a big congratulations to Zach, and hope you get everything you want out of it, because being saved is truly a special feeling. 1-2 the count now to Zach Sanford. And the reason Zach Sanford shaved his head was because he promised me he would do it if I did it. So you'll get to see that here in our post-game interview. You'll at least see my shaved head. That'll be fun for you. First time I've done it as well. 2-2 count to Zach Sanford. Here's the 2-2. Pokes that one back out of play.
That ball brought to you by Cassix Brewery.
Sanford 0 for 2 today with a couple flyouts. Also drew a walk. Here's the 2-2. And that one's poked right back to the pitcher. Scotty will have enough time to get that over to first in time for out number 2.
Now batting for the Chinooks. Catcher, number 30.
2 down, top of the 8th. That'll bring Ben Hill up to the plate. Hill 0 for 3 today. Has reached base twice due to errors in the field. First one to Hill. In there called strike 1. Hill doing the catching today for the Chinooks. Here's the 0-1. Misses low and outside, ball 1. Now here's the 1-1. Just outside, ball 2. Two and 1 the count to Ben Hill, the catcher from Olivet Nazarene. Two 1. Swing and a miss. Evens it back up 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hill. Here's the 2-2. Poked out right side. That'll get out of play.
That ball brought to you by ConocoPhillips, Alaska.
Count remains 2-2 to Ben Hill. Here's the 2-2. Down and outside, ball 3. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Ben Hill. Here's the 3-2. Swinging and a miss. Hill will go down on strikes. That'll do it for the top of the 8th. So Chinooks go down in order. They still trail the Oilers by a score of 4-2 here in Kenai.
We have the winning ticket number.
And welcome back on out here to Kenai, Alaska. About to start the bottom of the 8th inning between the Chinooks and the Oilers. 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Oilers. First up, Alex Seifert. First one will miss low for ball 1. After Seifert, it'll be the leadoff man, Darius Hill, then Trey Dawson. The 1-0. Low again, ball 2. Preston White still on the hill for the Chinooks. Came in to relieve Brody Harris back in the 6th. The 2-0. Up and in, ball. The 3-0. And they're called strike 1. 3-1 count now to Seifert. The 3-1. Swing in and a miss. Full count, 3-2 to Seifert, the third baseman from Jacksonville. Seifert 1 for 3 today with his single coming back in the 6th. The 3-2. Fouled out of play.
That foul ball brought to you by the Oilers Booster Club.
The 3-2. That'll just be fouled off. Hill unable to reel that one in. Three balls, 2 strikes to Alex Seifert. The 3-2. Fouled right side. Out of play once again.
That foul ball brought to you by First National Bank Alaska.
Here comes the 3-2. Up and in, ball 4. First walk surrendered by White.
center fielder, number 11, Darius Hill.
And the third base umpire, Brad Polk, just lost his hat as he was trying to move in towards second base. Now we go back to the top of the order for the Oilers. Darius Hill stepping back up into that left-handed batter's box. First one to Hill. Outside, ball one. Hill having a good day up at the plate. He's 3 for 4. A couple singles, one of them a bunt single and a double. They'll check on Seifert over at first. He'll be back in time. Has been caught stealing 3 times. The 1-0. That one's grounded towards Shackelford, but he'll let that get past him. Seifert's going to try and go all the way to third, but a great throw from Mallard will gun Seifert down at third.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers, shortstop, number 24, Trey Dawson.
So now that brings Trey Dawson up to the plate. 1 down. There's one to Dawson, grounded foul. Here's the 0-1. Hill on the move. But the throw from Ben Hill behind the plate will go into center field. It'll be a stolen base from Darius Hill. Surprisingly, that's his first of the summer. Owen 2 count now to Dawson. Next pitch to Dawson. Popped up right side out of play.
That ball brought to you by KO Entertainment. When do you guys start football?
1-2, the count to Trey Dawson, Louisiana State. That'll miss inside 2. Here's the 2-2. That one's lined out of play.
That ball brought to you by Ozzy Osbourne.
2-2 the count to Trey Dawson. Runner at second, and Darius Hill with 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Chinooks trailing 4-2. The 2-2. That'll just miss ball 3. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Trey Dawson. Here comes the 3-2. That one's grounded towards Shackelford at short. He'll get that over to Whisker first in time. Out number 2. Also, we're able to keep Hill over at second.
Now batting for your Peninsula Oilers, left fielder, number 12, Brody Wofford.
Brody Wofford now up to the plate for the Oilers with 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. First one to Wofford. Outside ball 1. The 1-0. Hit back up the middle. Shackelford will field it. And he'll get that over to Whisker first in time for out number 3. So Seifert reaches on a walk, but he'll be stranded after 8 full innings here in Kenai. Chinooks trailing these Oilers by a score of 4-2. And welcome back out to Coral Seymour Memorial Park. About to start the top of the 9th inning between the Chinooks and the Peninsula Oilers. Could be last chance here for the Chinooks. Austin Biscotti still on the hill for the Oilers. This will be his 3rd inning of work. First one to Greg Populison. Down low for ball 1. And after Greg, it'll be back to the top of the order for Will Bass and Mason Mallard. The 1-0. Down and outside ball 2. Population 1 for 3 today. Had an infield single in the 2nd inning. Here's the 2-0. We'll swing through that one for strike 1. Population plays his ball at New Mexico State University. The 2-1. That's it back up the middle. Piscotti will get it in front of it. And that'll be out by Wang as he's able to hold on. Well, had a soft collision with him and Populous, and luckily Greg had already started to slow down. Otherwise, that one could have been ugly. One down, top of the ninth. We go back to the top of the order. Will Bass. First one to Bass. That one's hit over towards second. Chaparral will field it. Gets that over to first in timeout number 2.
Now batting for the Chinooks, left fielder, number 5, Mason.
2 down, top of the ninth. Mason Mallard up to the plate. First one to him. In there, called strike 1. Mallard 2 for 4 today with a single and a double. The 0-1. Outside in the dirt. Here's the 1-1. Mallard tries to lay down the bunt. Thought it would go foul. One and two the count to Mason Mallard. 2 down, top of the ninth. Chinooks trailing by 2. Here's the 1-2. Down in the dirt, ball 2. 2 and 2 the count to Mason Mallard. Here comes the 2-2. That one's poked out towards right field, but that'll be put away by Ryan Smith, and that'll do it for this contest. Chinooks will fall by a score of 4-2 to the Peninsula Oilers. Oilers will win this series by a 3-2 advantage. And as far as player of the game is concerned, both Mason and Hunter had a couple hits today. Looks like they were the only guys to have a couple hits. And so with that being said, I think I'll go with Preston White as my player of the game. First time he'll win this award. Went 2 2/3 innings pitched, only gave up the 1 hit. So I'll go with Preston White as my player of the game. Once again, Chinooks fall by a score of 4-2. I'll have Preston up here in the press box for our post-game interview here in just a couple moments. And thank you for sticking around, Chinook fans, here with our player of the game, Preston White. First time Preston has won this award. Came in today in relief of Brody Harris in the 6th inning. Went 2 2/3 strong, only gave up a couple hits. So, Preston, how did it feel out there on the mound today? I know it had been a little while for you.
Yeah, it'd been a little while. Honestly, I was pretty wild. I threw one bad curveball, one bad slider, and pretty much just went fastball changeup from then on out. Two-seam was a little wild, but yeah, it was good to get back out there for first time in I guess a week. So I'm pleased with the result, but I gotta sharpen it up a little bit for next time.
Yeah, you come in today, like I said, in relief of Brody. Brody threw pretty well, allowed those runs to come across, did have 8 strikeouts. Just the atmosphere like when he was still in the game before you came in.
Brody, he's been one of our better starters, and he got himself into some situations, but I mean, he was for the most part mowing them down. A couple key hits, a couple key errors, and I mean, it just didn't roll his way this time. But I mean, like we said, the dugout's usually pretty confident behind him, and he usually gets the job done. But we'll be looking forward to come out next time.
And I think one of the good things about today, aside good things you can take out of a loss, that's probably the most errors that we'll have in a game, and we still only lost by 2 runs. So that's definitely a good sign for the guys going forward. I thank Preston White for coming to the press box.
Thank you, Lance.
As our player of the game. We'll be off for 2 days. I know, 2 days. I can't believe it either. We'll be off for the 4th and 5th of July. We'll be back at home against the very same Peninsula Oilers in Chugach at Lee Jordan Field in a couple days. So until then, stay tuned, Chinook fans.